Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Welcome back everyone to our discussion on consumer financial protection. We were looking at Rule 78 and generally under that payment system, bank will take bigger portion of the monthly payment as profit and customer keep smaller portion as principal payment. And Rule 78 is an extreme form of unequal and highly disproportionate monthly loan payment distribution into banking profit and customer principal payment, and it has been banned in many countries. The issue here is under a default event, then many customers will be victimized because they will find that their outstanding loan payment is still a huge sum, to pay off, and many of them may fall into bankruptcy as they could not find enough money to settle the outstanding loan. And the Consumer Financial Protection Acts, of Central Bank have issued the Consumer Financial Protection Guideline back in 2019, and one of the role of the policy is to set expectation for the bank to effectively manage conduct risk and to provide financial consumer with confidence that the bank act fairly in its dealing with financial consumer. So if we were to look at the loan or financing amortization schedule as illustrated by Bank Negara on its rebate guideline for sale-based financing in 2013, we will see that for a facility of 200,000 ringgit at 9% per annum contracted profit rate with a 15-year tenure, the total sale price is 365,135.97 ringgit. And this sum is this selling price is a sum of the cost of purchase, which is 200,000, plus the profit margin or deferred profit or unearned profit of 135.97 ringgit. So we add that together and we have the outstanding selling price of 365,135.97 ringgit. And when we divide the sale price into 180 months, so we will get an installment payment of 2028.53 ringgit, monthly installment payment. And that will be divided into two portions. The profit payment portion that goes to the bank, which is 1,500 ringgit. And then the cost of purchase payment, which is principal payment that goes to the customer as 528.53. So we can see that there's a big disproportionate distribution of the monthly payment into banking profit and consumer principal payment. Right. So this is something that has been raised by the consumer group, denoting that this is unfair and unjust, where bank will be keeping much of the monthly payment as profit, and at the end of the day, when customers are falling into default, they would be having problems settling the outstanding loan because the amount is still huge due to the fact that the principal payment were made on a smaller amount, even though the customer have choke out 2028 every month on the debt payment. So this is unfair. If you look at the another illustration using the same table, if we were using Rule 78 and similar system, as we see earlier from the table, that from the 2028 53 monthly payment, 1500 ringgit goes to bank as profit, and 528 and 53 ringgit goes to the customer as principal payment. This is unfair, but to the bank, this is the right thing to do, because the bank sees this as a risk mitigation strategy, to prevent customer from abusing the loan facility, because some customer or many of customer, may do a lot of speculative purchases, especially in property, and they would be able to buy, or they will be able to sell their property 1 or 2 years after the loan agreement and make a handsome capital gain. But then upon the settlement, the bank would not be able to enjoy the profit over the 180 months, because the settlement was made within less than 5 years. And this is one of the ways the bank wanted to discourage customer from doing that by implementing this kind of profit payment distribution. So good for the bank, but not good for the customer. But still, there are some customers who are paying, and they are not speculators. They are decent customers who wanted to pay their debts, over the tenure, but they have no plan to settle early. But again, the same strategy, would inflict the innocent customer, and this is the dilemma that we see facing the bank, and therefore we need, some kind of reflection to be done in order to get this problem over. And one of the ways is just to ban this Rule 78, so that we can go into a much more equitable and benevolent method of distributing the loan payment, the monthly loan payment, into banking and customer portion. So based on the straight line, method, 1014.26 ringgit goes to the bank as profit, and the same amount of 1014 ringgit goes to the customer as principal payment, equal distribution as profit and principal payment. And this is basically what we want to see happening in the Islamic bank. But then we have to assume that the bank will be exposed to many early debt settlement, maybe done on purpose, which can jeopardize earnings. So we do hope that consumers themselves are ethical and and they have high moral standing, so as not to abuse the system. That 90% of the consumer are there to to pay the debts until it mature, and there is very few percentage of them may be doing early settlement on purpose. But in general, the way to go is to adopt the straight line method, as recommended by our fee. Okay, so this is what we have here. We hope that the Islamic Bank can move forward to show the benevolence and the ethical standing of the business, to stop using Rule 78 and go into a much more generous and benevolent and fair amortization system to reflect its true Islamic label. Thank you very much. Please share and comment and subscribe. I will see you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.